Because you're looking at the latest updates on the cone, or the projected cone path of Tropical Storm Laura. It's crossing the western tip of Cuba now, and by Wednesday at 2 a.m., that means tomorrow night after midnight, it will become a Cat 1 according to these models. Wednesday at 2 p.m. that afternoon at Cat 2, coming ashore after midnight on Wednesday. Thursday at 2 a.m. at 105 mile per hour Cat 2 hurricane as it slams ashore here. The difference in the modeling is very slight, just a little more to the right, because they had it centered on Sabine Pass, right on the Louisiana-Texas border here, guys. So it's moving back to the right. The reason I'm pointing that out is because, guys, when you're dealing with that, this northeast quadrant, just as we saw the tornadoes this afternoon in Florida as the top, and all the large storms that were associated with Marco moved into the panhandle. So if this thing is moving right now, and maybe it continues to move right, just depending, then that northeast quadrant, guys, somewhere in this area is going to be the hardest hit. And here you would be talking about places inland like Baton Rouge. And notice the 9 p.m. update. It's 8:15 p.m. Central, so it's 9:15 p.m. On the East Coast. And a lot of the models are combining into this area. Only one model, the TABD model, has it coming a little further south and then cutting back across Louisiana and Mississippi. But these models are coming together here. That's going to shift because we're that far away. When it's crossing Cuba, we still have time for it to shift. But I wanted to point this out because that's all we can do is use these models and look at the satellite imaging and try to figure out what we're doing here. We're going to look at that now. But a lot of models, guys, the Navy model, Canadian model, have it coming in between Sabine Pass and moving back east into Louisiana. That's just the center. So again, the right quadrant, which is going to be to this side of the storm, is going to be the hardest hit. Again, as we witnessed in Florida tonight, that will be the most tornadic activity. And before I look at the satellite images, this is what they're predicting for Marco, which is a tropical storm. You've got the TABD model heading straight north. Then you've got the Navy model keeping it offshore and then curving along the coast. Then you have the Canadian model keeping it offshore here. So we really don't know exactly what the storm's going to do yet. Right now it's going to put some rain on Mississippi and Louisiana, as it moves from right to left or to the west here. And again, remember that the northwest quadrant is where the storms are forming over the warmer waters of the Gulf and then pushing ashore. Now, we're looking at the entire top of the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico here. In the top, you see just off the mouth of the Mississippi River a very dry center of rotation. This is Marco. All of this was thrown off to the right, the same way that Marco was steered overnight by that front that we saw coming across the Gulf of Mexico for the last 3 or 4 days and moving up there. Now, what has changed since I started the video and started looking at the different things I wanted to talk about is coming to this live satellite image. And I want to point out something. It looks like Tropical Storm Laura has made a sudden north turn, guys. See this right here? And about to move over Cuba now instead of making that longer run across this area. And it looks like right here, and let's pull this up a little closer. Now, something that's changed since less than an hour ago when I looked at this satellite image is I'm seeing a sudden north turn of the center circulation of Tropical Storm Laura, and now it is offshore of Cuba. That means that it will be able to intensify quicker, because if it were going to come all the way across the tip, like in the projected models, that would keep it confined because of the mountains and being over land as far as intensifying in strength. So now we really need to pay attention. It's 9:21 p.m. on the East Coast, 8:21 Central Time. We need to watch it now because it now looks like it has slipped off the island of Cuba. It's wide open now, guys. Just wanted to look at this and give you an update. If things change tonight and anything intensifies, I'll give you a 10 p.m. update. We're watching it. If not, we'll do it in the morning. But all along the coast, just keep your eyes on possible tornadic activity. It looks like Marco is a very dry center now. That's a good thing. You're still going to have some winds, tropical storm force. But here's going to be our problems. It's a heads up. Be safe.